So everyone's doing well. So today's video, we're going to talk about zones and the zones within. This way, you're going to know the trend. You're going to know if you should be buying or selling and where exactly that should be taking place. So the first and the most obvious is always the swing points. Okay, they are our first points of interest. So every time we break structure to the upside, can you see here we have a break of structure? Okay, this gives us a swing point zone from this high to this low. Okay, this is where we're expecting price to retrace into and continue with the trend. Perfect. And then we had another swing point zone here because we broke structure to the upside. So what can we expect? We can expect price to retrace into here and then do what? And then continue with the trend. Okay, it's a whole nother video on unmitigated zones, for example. So if this zone never got mitigated and price came into here, I can still expect this zone to break, price tap into this zone. Okay, give you a fake change of character liquidity sweep and then continue higher. But if you guys want to do a video on that, just let me know in the comments and I'll drop that. But that's swing points, so that should make sense. And now within your swing point, you're always going to have another two zones. Let's start with the first step, which is the break of structure in the direction of the trend. So nice uptrend, we have a nice break of structure. So within here, we have our swing point zone. This high to this low. Now on the lower time frame, we're going to be doing something like this. Okay, that is what it looks like on the lower time frame. We pull back because the lower time frame is in a change of character to the downside. Then when it realigns, we're in this expansion phase back to the upside. I've talked about this a lot on my multi-time frame analysis videos, etc., and my SNDR videos. So within these two zones, within this swing point zone, we have another two zones. We have the origin zone. The origin zone is where we switched from bearish to bullish to go with the trend. So here you can see we were bearish, switched to bullish and continued with the trend. So this area here is my origin zone. And the SNDR, which just stands for supply or demand responsible, is the last demand responsible for breaking structure. So this is my last up to down responsible for breaking structure. It's not this one. It's not this one. This is the last one. So now this is my SNDR. So now I have this overall swing point that I'm expecting price to retrace into and continue with the trend. However, now within this swing point, I have an SNDR and I have an origin zone. Okay, these are really where I should be looking for my buys, either in here or in here. So which one do I choose? Do I choose the SNDR? Do I choose the origin? Let's get into that now. So we've established we have this SNDR, we've established we have this origin. Like I said, which one do we decide to use? Well, the first thing is we want to be buying in discount, selling in premium. So for me, this SNDR is too high within the range. Okay, let's say it was just here, for example. I need it to be in discount. So ideally now, I'm waiting for price to pull into this origin. Another thing as well is where is liquidity? So if we have lows of lows down here, right? As you can see, it says here, tap, sweep, flip. So we tap into the zone. I need a liquidity sweep. If we don't have a liquidity sweep, you're going to be the liquidity that gets swept. So if we have no liquidity above this SNDR, but we have lovely liquidity on this origin, then I'll be looking for price to retrace into the origin and go up. And another good sign is where did we create fair value gaps? If this SNDR didn't create a fair value gap, it's not as strong. Whereas if this origin, we created a beautiful fair value gap, we know there's a lot of strength, we know there's a lot of orders here, it's better to wait for this origin to happen for price to then retrace to the uptrend. So I'll go through a downtrend and then I'll go through chart examples. Again, the first step is to find the overall swing point. So we have a low here and price broke structure to the downside. What is the overall swing point? The overall swing point is now between this low and this high. This was our last structure point. So now within this swing point, what are we going to have? We're going to have an SNDR and we're going to have an origin. So how do we find those? Within this internal structure, this lower time frame structure, where did we switch from bullish to bearish? It was this area here. This was our last bullish zone. So this is the origin. What is the last, the last up to down before we broke structure? This area here. So this is the SNDR. This is responsible for breaking structure, this is where the whole of supply started kicking in. Okay, that way now again within our swing point, we have an SNDR, we have an origin. We're going to look for what? Okay, they're both in premium, which is nice. They both have liquidity, let's say. They both have fair value gaps. Perfect. Then all we're going to wait for is as this higher time frame retraces. Okay, what we're going to wait for is this lower time frame. Which one do we know to use? Do we use this SNDR? Do we use it? It's whichever one the lower time frame shifts to a structure point to the downside. That's where we're going to tell us, okay, now this higher time frame order flow is going to continue, and we should look for sells, expecting this higher time frame low to get taken out. So this is really important. If you're not sure which one to use, just go to your lower time frame, see which ones gets the change of character in the direction of your higher time frame, and take sells or buys there. So if you don't understand that, I'll go into chart examples now. A quick flex before I do that. You can see these are actually 2 trades I took today, okay, using these exact concepts. That's the trade idea, that's the execution, that's the trade idea, that's the execution. And literally all I did was use swing points, SNDRs, and origin zones. I'll get into that now. And I do live stream my trading every day, so if you do want to join, just make sure you click the link below. Okay, now the self-promotion's out the way. Let's get into this. So the first trade, okay, again, we have structure. We broke this here, giving us a bullish break of structure to the upside. Okay, so this is now our protected low. So where is our overall swing point zone? It's from here to here. Okay, just like we did in the diagram. High, low, high. Okay, now we have, within our overall swing point, what do we have? We have an origin zone and we have an SNDR. So let's go to the lower time frame and let's look for these. So what is the origin zone? Well, the origin zone is here. Can you see it in this structure? Okay, this is where we went from bearish on this pullback. Okay, it's just a pullback. As we can see on this higher time frame, it's just a pullback, expansion up. But obviously on a lower time frame, it's actually a downtrend. So this was our last bearish move before we continued with this expansion back up. So this here, from this high to low, is my origin. Okay, now what is the last up to down move before breaking structure? Last up to down move before breaking structure. Okay, we have a nice up to down move here, but this happened after we broke structure, so it can't be responsible for breaking structure. This is the last up and down move, up to down move before breaking structure. It can be consolidation or also, as it looks here. So now if we go back to this higher time frame, we can see we're in an uptrend. We're expecting a bounce where? Between this swing point. Now where within this swing point exactly can we refine? SNDR origin. Perfect. So now again, which one do we use? Am I going to use this SNDR? Am I going to use this origin? Well, it's the same thing. They're both valid. Okay, they both have nice strength. They're both in discount. They both have liquidity. So if I go back to this lower time frame, I can see the first point of interest I had was this SNDR here. Okay, and we have this liquidity just above it. Perfect. So we swept that. Now, do I know if it's going to bounce from here or if it's going to bounce from here? No, of course not. I need to wait for the lower time frame confirmation. So we tapped into here. You can see we did a low, high, lower low, higher high. So now we have officially switched bullish on this lower time frame. Okay, I want a retracement into this lower time frame swing point. Okay, this is where I look for my entry. I'm not going to get into confirmations too much, but then I looked for another one on the 15-second, and I just went for a simple target just below this high. And we can see, beautiful. Okay, what did we do? We, on this higher time frame, we came into this SNDR, swept liquidity in discount. We got that lower time frame flip to confirm our bias, and then we broke structure to the upside again. And guess what? In the next trade, we do the exact same thing. So we have a new break of structure to the upside. Where is our origin? Where is our SNDR? Tied to where we broke it. Right, this was the last bearish move, and this was the last up move. So this here is the origin, sorry, and this here is the SNDR. Okay, why was I more interested in this origin compared to this SNDR? Well, the first thing was this SNDR wasn't really in discount, right? A lot of it was in premium. So ideally, I want to be buying in premium, in discount, sorry, selling in premium. And we have these equal lows here. So I can expect that to get swept, tap into this origin and continue higher. And in this origin, you can see we haven't come back and tested it at all. It's still very unmitigated, where we have at least mitigated some of this SNDR. So there's a lot of untapped orders. So as we pull back here, okay, I literally took my buys in this origin. Exactly 50%. Stop loss below. Target just above. And we can see I pretty much had zero drawdown. And we smash take profit and we increase. So what are we doing now? This is live time. Surprise, surprise. We're continuing with trend, right? We touched into this origin. We bounced. We filled in these orders. We're expecting price to break this high. And now once we break this high, what am I going to do? I'm going to do the exact same thing. Okay, so it's so nice when you see it. Look for your structure. Look for your swing points, your SNDR and your origin within those string points, and that's where you want to look for confirmation. And as we can see, it just worked out 2 times out of 2 beautifully. And once we take out this high, I'll do the same thing, expecting it to work 3 times out of 3. So I hope that makes sense. Any questions, please feel free to drop them below. Appreciate you watching the video. If you want videos on absolutely anything, just drop it in the comments below. And a bit of self-promo, I do have a premium Discord where I live stream my trading every day, and I have a full video explanation of my trading model. So if you do want to join that, just click the link below. If not, I have a completely free Discord. You're more than welcome to join that too. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.